wondering why you're not seeing my ugly face. It appears that just as I was getting ready to do this show, that the camera decided to crap out on me. So for this episode, and it'll be the only episode I'll do before I get a camera again, you're just going to have to put up with me with audio. See? Now you guys can't get sick of looking at my face. At least not today. So I'm sorry. No getting to see the psycho. You just get to hear the psycho for, I don't know, as long as I guess that my energy level is there. I have to apologize to some people here. But before I do that, let's go show who the heck was first for the day. Dino was first barely, followed by Chris Hill and Brandon came in. It was a two-way tie for second. And listen, thanks very much, seriously, Brandon, for congratulations on me for show 900. The way it seems like I limped to the finish line for 900 because this week has not been that good. I'm not gonna lie on that, guys. I haven't been feeling good. But it was more mental than anything else. I've had things falling apart around the house here this week. Let's see, the dryer crapped out on me. My car, I'm having brake issues, which I can't get that into the shop till Monday, and pray to God that that's not a hell of a lot of money. I can only do so much with what little I have, you see. And then to top that off, like I said, I'm not kidding you, the camera crapped out just before I came on here, and I tried putting it in and out. That didn't sound right, but you guys know where I'm getting at on all this. Yeah, I know, James. I think I understand if you were a little bit concerned as to why I wasn't on for the last few days, but that's why, because just a whole bunch of stuff falling apart. Hopefully, I should be able to still show videos despite me being in audio mode. And thank you very much, Chris, as well for that. But that's basically what's been going on. It's just been a bad week all the way around. So just please, some Spike Milligan. I know who Spike Milligan is. I just haven't heard Spike Milligan. So maybe I need to hear some Spike Milligan. That would probably sound about right? Yeah, that makes sense, I think. Thank you for the suggestion. I was gonna. Oh boy! I guess you guys aren't gonna see the vinyl finds. Oh well. I should probably, hopefully, maybe get a new camera by Wednesday, which is when I was thinking about doing another show anyway. So hopefully we'll have that all set and squared away. I guess. I know Wednesday's a long way away, unless I pull a miracle job for Saturday. Maybe I can get one Saturday. I don't know. I ain't gonna hold my breath. I appreciate the half a dozen people that are here. I don't know, gang. I don't really like this when it all goes boom, 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 boom. I'm not trying to be negative here, because usually it's happy-go-lucky psycho, right, or something close to that. But I don't know. It just hasn't been a really good week, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's a must. He's really funny. Well, good. I'll have to go check him out for a laugh. I did actually listen to some old Goon Show here, courtesy of YouTube, with wasn't Spike Milligan with Peter Sellers in the Goon Show? Then if that's the case, I already just listened to the new Elton John for the second time. Very good. I'm going to have to try to check that out. I know what you're talking about. We are going to play a little bit of Elton in a little bit here. That's the only hint I'm going to throw at you. You bet. See? Okay. True story. I was going to send some Goon Show tapes that I ended up getting in a library book sale to Paul McCartney, because I heard he was a big, him and John were big Goon Show fans, but I don't know why I didn't send them to him. Maybe I figured he probably, if he was rich enough, he probably had all the damn tapes. That was probably my logic anyway. This is just so weird not being able to see you people, but like I said, just bear with me today. Hopefully we'll have it all settled out. We do happen to have some new subs. The only one that's coming up, and I got a handful of them over the last couple of days. Yes, Peter Sellers and Spike, both troubled men. I'll have to look more into Spike, but yeah, Peter Sellers. I can't remember what movie I saw on him. It was a Hollywood take on things. I think I saw it on HBO years ago, and it was supposed to be the life of Peter Sellers or something. But boy, oh boy, he seemed like a dick, in real life. Although he had some famous friends, of course, and such like the Beatles and other things. I only found out yesterday that Peter Sellers happened to be on the Sir. It was a tribute to Sir Lou Grade, which was John Lennon's final live performance in late April 1975. So I thought it was interesting that they both shared the same stage that evening in New York City. And if you've never seen the John Lennon footage from Tribute to Sir Lou Grade, you should go check it out when you can, because it's kind of neat how John's basically being a smartass, and with some of the material he chose and the outfits and stuff. It was crazy. You got the new Billy Idol too, but have not listened to it yet. Yes, I haven't heard anything about the new Billy Idol. Yeah, Hollywood. I know Hollywood only gets about 10 to 20% of it right. The rest of it, they just fucking fabricate. All right, so like I said, beat after beat, it's all one word, all capitals. Thank you for joining the Psychosplatters universe. Hopefully we'll have better quality materials, but like I said, nobody can complain that there's not enough content here. 900 videos. Oh my God. Yeah, you're right, Brandon. You used to be a great place up till maybe about, 60s or 70s. And then after that, I think it kind of started losing its luster at that point. I hate to sound like an old fogey, but I think that's probably about right, because in the 80s, everything started really creeping in, the sleaziness and stuff. Not saying that there wasn't any sleazy before then, but it just seemed like it got really out of hand from the 80s onward. But, I've heard lots of strange stories from, heads of studios. And if you want to go way, 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 way back, over 100 years ago, Fatty Arbuckle. And let's see, what's another one that kind of Kirk Douglas, people like that. You back ordered the Alice Cooper. Oh, I didn't even know that Susan Vega was putting out a new album. Now, the Alice Cooper one I know is The Revenge of Alice Cooper, I'm assuming, right, Chris? That one, I hope the rest of the album is better than the Black Mamba single. That's all I'm saying about it, out of all honesty. At least I hope so, anyway. But so we've got a few subscribers. Thank you very much for subscribing to Psychosplatters. I know, like I said, in a weird case and situation, if you care to, please like and hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so. And if you feel up to it, donate. All the money goes towards the show. I guess this time the money will be going towards the camera. I only spent about like $15, $20 on that. It was a Wally World brand, and it lasted me, I guess, 2 years. So I really can't complain about that. Exactly. It'll all somehow work out in the wash. That's what I call it. They don't make them. Yeah, they don't make them like Charles Bronson, Telly Savalas, Yul Brynner. You betcha they don't. That was a long gone era of some long gone cool people. You know what's been really weird lately? I've been watching, not exactly deep diving, but I ended up watching some old Tonight Show appearances, like whole episodes. There isn't too many of them, but from the 70s. I'm watching one from 75 right now. It's got Tony Curtis and Diana Ross, and the commercials are even included in it too. I thought that was kind of cool. But there's even some 60s episodes I want to look at. It's just too bad that they couldn't come up with, 60s episodes involving Beatles and the Monkees. That'd be kind of cool. But at least somebody recorded the audio, at least on both of them, so there were some fans out there that were smart. But there was an interesting little monkey-related special I'll have to talk about shortly. But what I want to do is we're going to attribute this video today to two different people. The first one is Jonathan Edwards. No, not Jonathan Edwards. Sunshine's gone away. Not him. this Jonathan Edwards he had a solo soul singing period, followed by being a member of the Spinners from 1977 to 2000. Yeah, no kid. Now, Bill Boggs, I don't remember that, but I did catch Dick Cavett and William F. Buckley and saw those. Hey, Doug, how you doing? Sounds like I got camera issues just like you today, my friend. Yep, John Edwards from the Spinners. That's right. We're gonna play here. We're gonna present to you first a little soul piece that I just tripped on today from 1973. It's called Claim Jumpin'. It's kind of funky. Oh, is it not going to let me do this? Well, just listen to it then, I guess. That's all that matters. Yep. Hey, Lisa. I love this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is just cooks all the time. I'm an idiot. I don't know who that is. Hey, Royce. That's right. Claim Jumpin' from John Edwards and his solo. He started out in the late 60s, actually, and then I cannot remember which member of the Spinners left in January 1977, but John Edwards slid right on in there for the next 23 years. Good to see you, Royce. Like I said, Chris, I'm an idiot. I don't know who Joey Peppy Smith is now. Yes, rest in peace, Sabu. Definitely. That was sad. And I just got done watching the new Vice episode, Dark Side of the Ring, which showed the original Sheik. So it even makes it better sweet. Yeah, this guy seemed like he had it all with him. Then unfortunately he got sick in 2001. That's why he had to leave the Spinners, and he just didn't do anything after that. Anyways, but that's all kinds of fun there. Give me a second here. That is, if anybody cares to come up, flop that up on there too. I know this is not a usual time frame, okay, but I've got some stuff to do later today, and I figured, well, I might as well do this now, or I'm not going to be able to do it for days. Well, like I said, I guess karma's getting me today. Whatever. Anyways, so then we go to the next little bit that I've got. So, like I said, he joins the Spinners from 1977, goes all the way to 2000. Now, this next one here um, is it's they're there. It's the Spinners, but it's not just the Spinners. It's actually one of my favorite Elton John songs. Yes, Beowulf. I don't know who they are either. I feel real stupid today, I guess. But uh, but basically, in 1979, to be a fly on the wall on these little sessions would have been quite interesting. Elton John, not necessarily really doing real good popularity wise. The what was it, the Single Man album, which was the album I think he put out before this, fizzled. Um, this album, I mean, yes, he got a minor hit from this, but like 21 at 33 wouldn't do real good, even though it had little Genie on it. And then The Fox, which was his first Geffen release, didn't do real good either. So he was kind of going through a slump. So this was the little break. And I happen to like this song. I do. And of course, you guys have probably heard this many a time, but too bad it's my show. Anyways, I'm just giving you guys grief. So, Elton John with the Spinners in the background of the Tom Bell sessions, Mama Can't Buy You Love. And that was Elton John with the Spinners, Mama Can't Buy Me Love here on Psychoplatter Radio. You want to hear a little one here? This is what I used to have to do. See if I can remember this verbatim back. Goes back about 25 years. WCRX 88.1 FM Chicago. You're listening to the Mighty Psycho here. That's right. In the dungeon. You want to become one of the inmates? 312-663-3512 will get you right into the request line to be able to get whatever you want on here onto this fine radio show. That's right. You like that? That's what I used to do every Saturday. 9 to noon, the Hangover Crowd. That's right. That show was called Musical History Tour. That's when that was what it was called. It was Musical History Tour. But when I was doing the dance and club music, it was like, it's the Mighty Psycho. I know, I'm lame. What can I say? I actually like this. Excuse me. I actually like this Elton stuff. Really like Born Bad. Now, yes, please, prayers of healing going out to Doug the Vinyl Grotto. His sight is still not good enough to fix, but he's trying. Last thing I heard, if I remember correctly, Doug, I think you went to therapy and you said you got double vision. And we're not talking the good kind from Foreigner either. Hopefully they can get that improved. So prayers going out from me to you, and please the rest of the VC join in as well. Little on the sap style hits for Elton. Yeah, I know, but you know what? I always liked it for some reason. Maybe it was just all the parts to it, And I didn't even know for years that the Spinners were actually singing background on that track. I thought, oh, this makes it a little extra touch. But I like the Spinners, even though some of their hits were before John joined the band. Like my favorite Spinners song from the classic era would probably be Rubber Band Man. I love Rubber Band Man, but I also, even though I'm not a big Dionne Warwick fan, I actually don't mind Then Came You, the stuff that Dionne and the Spinners did. That actually was pretty good too. So while you guys were listening to that, I looked up Beowulf, so I think we might be able to play a Beowulf track. We'll do that in a little bit, though. So the next thing is the other dedication. Yeah, see? Yeah, we try around here. We try. I just have to go back to the old radio voice. That's right. I used to have women call me. I'm not lying to you, gang. They'd be sitting there, be like, oh, I love your sexy voice. And I'd be like, what you talking about? I don't have no sexy voice. Oh, boy. Better than most of the late 80s and 90s stuff. Okay, got it. Did you see any new movies? No, Dino, I really haven't. Well, let's see. Actually, I take that back. I was at a friend's house and saw Beetlejuice 2. It was okay. Wasn't great. I think that's the last newest, recentest thing. I was supposed to go catch the Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds? Thunderbirds? Thunderbolt? I don't know what the fuck. I give up. But whatever the newest Marvel movie is. But unfortunately, life got in the way, so I don't get to watch too many new movies. Hey, Elvis Cup guy, how you doing? Yeah, I know. It does. Yeah, the shit symbol right there, right after Psycho, is about right, at least for today, anyway. But that's all right. We will plod on, and we will continue here, as it's just me, my 15 people, and this cup of coffee. Yes. And for your visuals, it is in the biggest Waffle House Christmas mug that I happen to have, back when Waffle House Christmas mugs were really, really nice and big. The last time I actually set foot in a movie theater, John, and I hate to admit this, it was during COVID, September 2020. Me and, Doug Fields, host of the Vinyl Grotto, we went to check out an afternoon show of Elvis, the 50th anniversary of Elvis That's the Way It Is, which they called it Elvis That's the Way It Was. And I loved it. I loved the whole thing. I thought that the sound, everything was great on it. It was almost like you were in concert. I'd say probably one of the biggest regrets, though, that I happen to currently have is I really would have loved to have seen Becoming Led Zeppelin in IMAX, but I think I'm just, I know they're returning it back to select theaters briefly, but I'm just going to have to wait till it hits Blu-ray, and I'll just have to watch it that way. It won't be as bombast, I guess, but still, yeah, it was a good time. I really kind of wish they would have had souvenirs, like Elvis souvenirs when you came, because it was a Fathom event. That was, it was a Fathom event. All right, so this next one is a little more closer to home as far as for tribute is concerned. And no, it's not one of my friends for once, but so far death is, at least for the moment, not gotten anybody super duper close. That better not, God. I'm not in the mood for any more death right now. But one of my favorite Southern rock bands, though, and we can call them a Southern rock band in a way. It's the pride of Springfield, Missouri. We lost the music community lost another original member of the Ozark Mountain Daredevils, Larry Lee. Now, Larry Lee is, you would know Larry Lee. He was the drummer, but he did other stuff too. But Larry Lee was the one who sings on Jackie Blue. He's the one that goes, woo-hoo. And some people, including me when I was a kid, thought I was a woman. I don't know why I thought it sounded like a woman's voice, but after seeing a TV performance clip and they played, I'm like, oh, well, that explains a few things. But if you want to check out a really good clip on YouTube, go see their Old Gray Whistle Test appearance that they did, and they do Jackie Blue there, and they also do this song, which is one of my favorites. And they're doing a goodbye tour, by the way, kids. There's only 2 original members left. But if you can check them out, check them out. It's a great show. But this one here, if you want to get to heaven, well, you got to raise a little hell. From 1974, the first album, Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Why, if you want to get to heaven, you got to raise a little hell. Right here on Psychoplatter Radio. See, that's what we're doing today. Show 900. 900 of these. It's only taken 14 years. Well, here's, I'm raising my coffee cup. You can't see it, but I'm going to tell you. Here's to, I pray, another 900, huh? That would be something. I just have to, one day at a time, I just keep trying to get through, because as everybody knows, this life is not exactly all. What was it that, oh God, what was it? Lynn Anderson said, I never promised you a rose garden. And it's true. Life is not a rose garden. In the words of Outkast, Caroline, you think your roses don't stink, but they smell like poo-poo. That's what we get sometimes. You get the septic system, and sometimes you get the nice green grass. And yes, that's right. It's 1-900 who died now. This shouldn't be funny, but it is. Oh, God, I laugh at you, death. I laugh at you, death. $1.99 for the first minute, 99 cents each additional minute. Paul, I'm trying something here. Pull me up and see if you can get my audio, and I'll play a few seconds of a song so you can find me. Then I'll open my mic. I guess that makes sense. Hang on a minute. This could be an all radio, audio, visual Psychoplatter 900. Hang on a second. See, it's all about experimentation here, ladies and gentlemen. Has Psycho ever experimented? Oh, you bet I've experimented. It's gotten me in trouble with a few husbands, but I have experimented in my day. I learned my lesson about not being with married women. I won't do that. I haven't done that in 20 years. I learned my lesson on that. Never again. You kind of get tired jumping out of first floor windows. Sir, notice I said first floor. Because that's about as good as I could have done back then. I was young, but I wasn't spry. You know what I'm saying? As you dozen people are going, Jesus, what is he babbling about now? It's all right. So I'm waiting to see if he's going to come up here, because I'll give him a minute or two. But if he doesn't, then I'm going to tell you about that, after Larry Lee left the Ozark Mountain Daredevils in early 1982, he actually did a solo career. He did come back to Ozark Mountain in 86 for a brief stint, and I think that was the last time he was with them. Doug Fields, of course, Final Grotto host, and I had the pleasure to see the two original members that are doing the tour with a third guy that was in the 70s. Music is playing, mic is open. Okay, well, that music is playing, mic is open. Well, all right, then, like I said, I put the invite. See if you can get yourself up here. Then we could play radio show. See, we keep talking about trying to get to do this radio demo that we want to do. We've done some demos together, but it's just nothing's really panned out, and it's not necessarily our fault. Just life kind of does things, doesn't it? I'll wait here about another minute and see if you can come up here, but if not, I'm going to go to the next track that I've got. But I hope everybody out there is doing okay. Today, by the way, I didn't bring Psycho weather. Psycho's Platters weather. Currently, right now, about close to 80 degrees and broiled. That's right. Yesterday was, really ridiculous. Oh, okay, now, we're going to try this. I've got him up. Let's see if he says anything. Contact to Major Tom. Go ahead, Major Tom. Maybe. Possibly. Could be. Would be. Should be. Do be. Oh, boy. Well, I'm not hearing anything. Push 1 for country artist. Push 2. Yeah, here we go. Here at 1-900 Who Died Now. Push 1 for country artist. Push 2 for rock. Push 3 for rap. Push 4 for space, new age, and prog. Push 5 for folk. You might be onto something, buddy. I don't know. Well, yeah, I know. He pressed 4. I know. Oh, you know what? Okay, was it you that brought up Gentle Giant? Who brought up Gentle Giant in one of my last broadcasts? Because whoever's a Gentle Giant fan out there, go to Talk Shop Live. Okay, they have a Gentle Giant reissue of their 1977 live album, Playing the Fool, I think it's what it's called. And it's autographed. I don't know by how many members of Gentle, but it's autographed. And I can tell you it's 40, 40, like low 40s for the vinyl, which looks like a nice package. And the CD is 28. Oh, you did? Okay, well, so Brandon, Talk Shop Live, you could get some signed Gentle Giant in your collection. Playing the Fool, yeah, that's it. So they're reissuing it, remaster, remix, whatever. It's extended, I'm told. You may want to pull the trigger on it. Yeah, just letting you know. So, yes. But at Talk Shop Live for that. Yes, this is the Invisible. Hey, I like the new thing. You got your Pink Floyd Prism there, and then there's Tito. I hope you're doing good up in heaven. You know, singing duets with Michael. I hope so. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna remove you till you can maybe come back with something, my friend. Sorry, I'm so horrible. I know I'm a lousy friend. I don't mean to be. Was a bit bummed because I bought it after the fact. Oh, yeah, shit. Well, you know what? Worst comes to worst, I can always maybe sell the other one and get. I don't know. Okay. So, um, well, I'm getting your live. I'm getting your live audio and your repeat. Nothing on mine. Oh boy. Hey, Fred. It's Vinyl Gorilla here. Gorilla. Um, Good to see you here. Yeah, if you don't know already, my camera took a dump. So just for today, you're getting a audio version of Psycho Splatters, show number 900. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this next little bit, I know some of you people are going to probably go off and go, well, this sounds like yacht rock. I'm kind of tired of that term anyway, but in a way, I guess it kind of does. Oh well, maybe when I could see again, I could see better to connect. That's true. That makes sense. And if it does sound like this other thing here, like yacht rock, let me explain a little bit. I didn't know this until I was reading Larry Lee's obituary, but for a little while he actually performed with Jimmy Buffett's band. I'm assuming as a drummer. But this is from the 1982 album, so his first album after he leaves Ozark, and it's called Marooned. So it's 5 minutes. We're going to play the whole thing. Hopefully, it won't turn you all off, but at least you get an idea of what he sounded like after Ozark. So here we go. Enjoy. I feel marooned. Sometimes my life, I bet you guys feel like that in your life too, that you feel marooned or you feel like you want to be marooned. Yeah, maybe if I got some time, we'll pull another one and see what it sounds like off that album. Hi, Richard. How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see everybody here today. Like I said, unfortunately, this is a video-less Psycho Splatters, at least on my end today, due to the camera taking a crap just as I'm getting ready to come on air. I'm like, story of my life. Anyways, so I hurried up and hang on a second. I want to get this right before I spit it out to you guys. All right. So Dale Henderson from Beowulf passed away. I don't know of what. He was the singer and guitar player. So forgive me. This is the first thing that came up. Ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is the Psycho radio show. Psycho Goes Dark. Yes, very dark. Oh, you know what? I could, because if I remember correctly, I think I was even able to revenue share that with him. Only on KTEL Records, yes. 30 original hits, 30 original stars. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, so for our tribute to Beowulf, I'll give you a quickie. Nah. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes this is the role I feel like I'm playing in the VC. Peacemaker. I'm a peacemaker. Peacemaker. No. Nice. That's right. He says he's a peacemaker. Beowulf. Rest in peace, Dale Henderson. I'm telling you. You ain't going to believe this, but why? So forgive me a minute, James, because when I typed in something for your Suspicious Minds request, I came across, and Doug's going to go, oh boy. Would you guys like to see some unreleased? Well, not unreleased. It was released, but very few people saw it. Just a few minutes of this if you want. So another thing that we tried doing, and unfortunately I have no, these are not under the Psychoplatter banner. Okay, we ended up doing 3 episodes of this, but it was myself and Doug Fields, okay, host of the Vinyl Grotto, and a young gentleman by the name of Grant Daubin. That's right. And I happened to trip on episode 2 of Knights of the Round Turn Table, where everyone is all unstable. So just humor me at least for a few minutes. Thank you, Brandon. Seriously. I got to go back to work tomorrow, but I know that I can't get into the mechanic till Monday. So I'm going to be on pins and needles for the weekend, but I can only do what I can. Got to go to work. Can't get around that, you know. But thank you so much, seriously, Fred and Brandon. So let's play a little bit, just a taste of this Knights of the Round Turn Table, episode 2. Hope that is not the one. I apologize. Hang on a minute. My bad. Hang on a second. My bad. You know, I confuse myself pretty easy. Hang on a second. There we go. That's the one. That's what I want. Okay.
Welcome back again, everybody. Hey, we all survived the first episode. We're back, and you know what? It's second episode. I'm telling you, seconds.
Now you'll have to forgive me. This isn't a coffee house, so obviously the audio could get a little noisy.
Sloppy second. All right, maybe not sloppy seconds, but the point of the matter is, right here, you're getting yourself a
Doug Fields, Randy Abbott,
and the big mouthful. How's everybody this week?
doing pretty good.
I'm telling you guys,
Just happened to be at a local coffee shop downtown Rogers.
I do. And real quick here, we got 43 views off that first episode. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about the Knights of the Round Turn Table. Now, I'm envious. We're not worthy. You
Shows
brought some history pieces.
And he did.
Show us, oh mighty historical one.
Okay, as per last episode, I told you about Ben Cook and the investors payola. This is it. A lot of DJs and program directors and such back in the day got into some serious trouble because of payola, because they would not play your record unless you paid them. Or you had gifts and all this sort of thing. So here's a single I told you about. Some of you may have seen the movie Rock, Rock, Rock. This is the soundtrack album to that. It is the first rock and roll soundtrack album ever made. It is also on Chess Records, and it is the first record album from Chess Records. And I also told you about that one on the last episode.
I want to look.
Now, this is Bill Haley and the Comets. It's on the Somerset label, and it comprises basically the Essex material. Before
Good old
they were
Essex,
Bill Haley and the
Bill Haley.
Comets, they were Bill Haley and the Seven, playing basically country and rockabilly. For example, one song, what is it? Let me look here.
There, I turned down the volume a little bit.
Rock the Joint. I have the
Classic
45
stuff, Rock the
of
Joint.
And it's a good tune. On the flip side, however, it is country, and quite honestly, it sounds like a moose in heat. It's awful.
I ended up hearing that, and I would agree with that assessment. I just wish I remember what the
I
flip
wonder why
side
it's
was.
popular in Canada. I mean, what?
Nah.
Never mind.
Now, another soundtrack album for which I unfortunately do not have the cover, but around 1957, I believe, there was another rock and roll movie entitled Jamboree. This is the soundtrack album. It has been counterfeited. This is the original, and I have researched it to be sure. One interesting thing about this album, though, is it has Jerry Lee Lewis performing Great Balls of Fire, but it is an alternate version to the Sun 45, and I think much more colorful, a much more colorful performance.
It's on the Jamboree soundtrack.
And this album, incidentally, was not released to the general public. It was released to DJs, radio stations, things of that nature. Now, we will also get into a few 78s here. Now, some of these I like just for the label. Chance Records out of Chicago. A beautiful label. They have awesome performers, Flamingos, a lot of great groups. And this one, for those of you who are familiar with this record, Dinah Washington, Long John Blues. How do I put? She is not speaking of how tall John is. Okay. So, rather risque for the time.
Yep.
Now, here's something that you probably are not.
This is
familiar
11
with.
years ago, ladies and gentlemen,
This
just to
is
give
a
you an
radio station
idea.
copy on the X label, a subsidiary of RCA. It is Trumpet Tarantella featuring 11-year-old trumpeter Frankie Avalon. So before Frankie became the singer, he played trumpet.
Now, this is all in the Night Talk channel.
Now, everyone is familiar with the TV show I Love Lucy. Here is a radio station copy of the I Love Lucy theme song performed vocally by Desi Arnaz. Now, for the jazz aficionados,
Here you go, jazz people.
from 1929, Duke Ellington's first record, Caravan.
Okay.
Now, you've probably heard this in mini oldies, movies, things of this nature. American Graffiti, The Spaniels, Good Night, Sweetheart, Good Night. It was also released in the 45. However, I like the label design of the 78 much better.
Oh yeah, those VJ
Now, I
strips.
don't know if you can. Oh, there's no glare off of this. Let me take this out of plastic. One of my favorite tunes, the Orioles, Crying in the Chapel.
Classic stuff. We'll play about another minute of this, and then we'll get to something else.
Probably should have had already out. On the RPM label, the Teen Queens, Eddie My Love. This you would hear a lot on the TV show Happy Days or other movies, television shows like this. Johnny Ray Cry on the OK label, which was a subsidiary of Columbia.
Columbia was the first to put out the 12-inch.
Right. And this one, who hasn't heard this? That's
Yeah,
from,
probably.
Blueberry Hill. Everyone's heard that. Other song. This one, a lot of people are probably not familiar with this artist. Joe Liggins and the Honey Drippers on the specialty label, So Along. This has a very nice raw appeal to it.
Anyways, you guys get an idea of that. Now, like I said, the channel on that, in case you want to catch, we only ended up getting to do a couple episodes. Well, you know, the winds of fate were not with us at that time. But that was 11 years ago for you 10 people that are still here. That was a long ass time ago. But I kind of enjoyed the chemistry of that show. The only fault that I saw, and obviously that one is on me because I was the one that went and asked to be able to go do the coffee shop thing. Unfortunately, it seemed like no matter what time we ended up in there, there always was some type of noise. If you go on the Knights Talk, you'll be that's KNIGHTS Talk for Knights of the Round Turn Table, where all are unstable. You'll get to see the intro episode, and if I remember correctly, I think we did at least the 2 episodes. There might have been a third. And then what really cursed us in the end was we ended up doing a jazz 2-parter. Seriously, we did a 2-part dedicated to jazz, and we filmed them, you know, one after the other because we made them like 30 minutes each, you know. And unfortunately, that day just didn't go very, very well for anybody. And not only was the coffee shop extra busy, the damn grinders were going, and then the friggin' train. The train was across the street, where like even the engineer guy was getting ticked off, which I guess I could understand. But then I'm like, okay, well, you know what? We won't do the coffee shop anymore. And I was able to reserve a room at the library. I mean, what better, quieter place, you know, to do a Knights episode if you can't do it in your own home in the library? Well, you know, there was me and Doug. We showed up, but Grant unfortunately had to bail, and I understood why. And it just, you know, I'm just glad to have the couple episodes we do have. So if you guys get bored and, you know, past the 900 shows we have here, go check out those. And I miss the chemistry of having 3 people, you know, that were, whether we're in the shows, we filmed these things. These, I mean, I would love to do it live. Yeah, for real connoisseurs, that video. Yeah, very. And I apologize, like I said, about the sound part. Now, James Farley, we'll get to your request, and then I will try to dig up another Larry Lee for Brandon and Company. But here we go with this.
We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. But why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word I say? We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams on suspicious minds. So if I'm open, I know, stop by to say hello, but I still see suspicion in your eyes. Here we go again, asking where I've been. You can't see these tears are real, I'm crying. We can't go on together with suspicious minds, and we can't build our dreams without suspicious minds. Won't let our love survive. I'll dry the tears from your eyes, but let's don't let a good thing die. You know I have never lied to you. Yeah. We're caught in a trap. I can't walk out because I love you too much, baby. But why can't you see what you're doing to me when you don't believe a word?
Wow, I didn't know it was that close.
Don't you know I'm caught in a trap?
Definitely.
I know I can't walk out because I love you too much.
That's right. Mark James's original version of Suspicious Minds. And I guess even Elvis ripped off the arrangement. But John says here, heard this is great. Yeah, what a writer. What a writer, right? Yes, he definitely got a true gift for that. 3 months, of course. He said he released that before Elvis did it. Well, I'll tell you, all kinds of fun stuff. All kinds of fun stuff. I appreciate the dozen people here. I know. Paul, bring me up. I want to try to do my audio again. I think I may have it now. Okay, hang on 1 second. So I'm going to take Doug. I'm going to kick off the old so that I can clean the slate. Now, give it a few seconds and try again, and we will see what happens. Let's cross fingers. Let's have a VC hands across. No, forget that. Just a crossing fingers here while Mr. Fields tries to come up. Until he does, you getting hungry like I am? I'm getting kind of hungry. I really am. You know, I mean, I know it's only 3:19, but you know, I had breakfast earlier, but could do for some. So, you know what? I think we ought to ask. We ought to ask, what's for supper, Grandpa?
Grandpa, what's for supper? Well, tonight you're really in for a treat. I've got 3 kinds of pie and 3 kinds of meat and 4 kinds of vegetables and 5 kinds of drink.
Sounds good to me.
Junior will get full for once, don't you think? Yeah.
Grandpa didn't believe in flying saucers until he tripped a waitress.
This is true. Grandpa Jones. I loved him. He was silly. That whole hee-haw thing was silly. I'd watch that shit. It was usually on Sundays in Chicagoland. I think it was Channel 9 would play hee-haw like late Sunday afternoon before supper. Where are you tonight? What? Never mind. All right. Well, let's try Goober. I got to tell you something. I never cared for him. I never. I mean, he was good on Hee Haw. I did not like Goober on Andy Griffith. I don't know what it is about him. I just didn't like it. Yeah, I know. Really sad. Lulu Roman died just recently. And Lulu actually did some performances. I want to say within the last year, she went. Let's see. She was in Branson. Oh boy, StreamYard and YouTube signed you out, huh, bud? I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. This must just be a day. That guy was in MASH as Hawkeye's replacement kept mispronouncing BJ's name. That guy was in MASH as Hawkeye's replacement. Oh, yes, I remember that episode now. Yeah, Goober was in a MASH episode. So was late teenage Opie. He was in an episode too, getting all pissed off at the doctors and such. Anyways, okay, let's go to Goober. Yeah, Goober. Never a big fan of Goober. I mean, and if you think about it, the Goobers, like Goober was always there, like in the later black and whites when Gomer would be there too. But it was like when Gomer left to go do Gomer Pyle, that was around the time that Don Knotts left and Andy went to color. And I'm not a big fan of those color episodes. I've watched a bunch of them, just not a big fan of them. I think like they lost their mojo. They should have probably seriously. I mean, I know that the ratings were still good, I guess. But Andy, killed it in '68, and then you had Mayberry RFD, which, believe it or not, I read about that they were having decent ratings too until the Rural Purge in 1972 from CBS. Anything with a tree got canceled, even Lassie. Oh boy, that's right. He took Colonel Potter's horse for a ride. That was a big mistake. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, neither was I. Same here. They did, but yeah. So, all right. So you're kind of curious. You want to hear another Larry Lee? Let's see what this one is. It's the first track off of that album, Marooned, called "Waiting to Let Go." Let's see how this one sounds, gang. Waiting to let go, huh? I'll tell you, Larry Lee, ladies and gentlemen, rest in peace. I like this record. I'm gonna have to try to find that damn thing and put it in my collection. I'll file it under my Ozark Mountain Daredevil. Like I said, they ended up, the band itself pretty much was, went from 74 to 80. Okay, mostly A&M Records, although that 1980 album was put out on Columbia Records. I actually have a copy of that finally. I could never find that thing at a decent price like I could with some of the Ozark Mountain Daredevil LPs. I did, in 2019, I got to meet the two members. Soup Granda was the guy that I met more than the other guy. And I got them to sign several different Ozark albums. So I've got that in my autograph collection for signed albums and such. I'm a big sucker for that kind of stuff. I gave them a list of 25 and they found 2 of them. Wow. Well, I guess that beats 0, but still, believe you me, my want lists are weird and strange, but we all know that, right? Right. So we're not leaving yet, but I'm going to show you my last assigned clip that I sent, okay? Now, this one here goes back only 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 years ago, when I attempted on my old tablet. Knights of the Round Turntable was resurrected briefly by me. But you'll see who the guests are. I'm not going to play more than maybe like 5 minutes of this thing, I think. But this here, another down memory lane. This one was called episode 2, pretty much. But you'll get to see who's on here. And the surprise that I got towards the back end of the episode. This is in the last 30 minutes.
For it. Because I played that Hollywood Strings one that they did on the Monkees. I think it wasn't God, I hated it. But I will take a stand.
What are the good stuff like Papa Jean's Blues, Sometime in the Morning, all played on like a church organ?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay. Even some album cuts.
Yeah, look, somebody circled tomorrow's gonna be another day. Like this is the one.
Oh wow.
Sometime in
How
the morning.
much is that in American?
See, I could see with the Sometime in the Morning with the church organ, but tomorrow's gonna be another. Oh, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen,
This will get you guys. That
Who's
surprised me.
next? That's a Who album. Who's next on the Psycho Platter Knights of the Round Turntable? We are all unstable. Rachel.
One of the few Rachel appearances I have on my show.
Rachel.
Oh,
Remember that one?
Hello, Rachel.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
God, tell Paul to fix it. We're
Yeah,
all,
I was just doing them the Lucien A2 Monkeys album.
I love those guys. Peter's funny, but Mike's my favorite.
Oh.
We're
Mr.
out the
Ward.
world.
Oh, my.
Another Psycho Platter.
It's pretty
Hi,
damn
Greg.
cool finding the Japanese vinyls, Brandon.
Why
Why
Eventually
are
I'll
we
find
all?
more.
We're all in a narrow little enclave.
Well, let's see. Let's try.
Well, that's a bit better.
I'm trying.
I'm comfortable with this, but you
Okay.
just hit the
Oh,
thing
no,
and
I
you
don't
can
want.
spread me.
Hang on a minute.
Jeez.
How about?
Yeah,
I'm
That's,
trying.
There we go.
this
Yeah.
is
that's
it. You got
better.
it.
That's better.
That was
This
with
is
my
what
old
the
tablet.
pros do.
There we go. I'm still learning. You guys are. Huh?
This is how the
You guys.
pros do it. Format.
There you go. I'm trying. This is only like my 5th or 6th one. You guys have been on these forever, you guys. Cause yeah, I had Lesh was on here, and you guys. This is my
Oh,
first
it's black.
guest
Black.
show.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Okay.
Hello, Doc,
Okay.
Paul, Doc, and everybody.
Matt,
Oh,
Matthew,
Matthew Street is here.
we love Matthew Street, and Matt did a great little 1-minute blurb on his meeting of Paul McCartney, which is a great
Matthew
story.
Street's an awesome
And
channel.
because
Awesome
I'm
dude.
so
Yes.
glad I asked him, did you ever meet any of the Beatles? And he goes, oh yes, oh yes. And what a story!
What
That,
a link up. Matthew Street's here.
hold on, Ringo. Just tell Matthew. God, you gotta tell. This is the worst mail stream I've ever seen. Holy fuck! Jeez. Yeah.
Oh man. And Matt, yeah, I saw that today. That the meeting, Paul. I thought that was an awesome story. I started listening to the Ringo one he did, which I didn't know he did, but I gotta finish the rest of it.
So anyway, I was showing you Lucien A2, Les Monkeys.
Yeah, it's the monkeys with your Hammond organ.
Yeah, it's great. It's hilarious.
Wow.
You listen to this thing, you can't help but smile. It's so
Okay.
good.
Okay. we're-
And I loved it so much that I got the CD of it.
Oh, geez.
Okay.
Ooh.
Worst mail stream ever? Oh, I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
What? You got a piece of his clothes?
Oh, that's the Stuart Sutcliffe art.
What?
Man, oh man, you know, she
Oh, it's
did
artwork.
pretty good
Wow.
with that, getting
Ooh.
that piece.
Oh,
Etchings
man.
by Stuart Sutcliffe.
Wow.
Oh God.
Is
So
it signed?
Stuart Sutcliffe himself
April 16th.
illustrated
Two,
these.
if
Of
I
course,
remember correctly,
Liverpool
yes.
College of Art. You see where he
Yeah, April 62.
Liverpudlian, the estate of Mrs. Millie Sutcliffe.
Wow.
Title.
Wow.
number 3.
Oh,
You too, Doug. Thanks
Oh
for trying.
my God.
We'll figure it
You
out.
just blew my mind.
Let's see Joe Mayo do that. Oh, you may have 40 McCartney 3 variations.
Yeah, all he's got is like
I
some-
love Joe. Everybody knows I love Joe. But it's kind of a fun thing to show. And, it's got to go in the new Wicked Room because the reno's going great. I'm just a ball of sweat. Been working my ass off. Thank you, Matthew. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
I was just going to ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you how that's going, Rach.
It's we got to paint it now. We're all done. The build is over. So I've been putting old lumbers, our refuse of woods, our timbers, our siding, our paneling, our moldings. They're
I
all
hope
being
Rich is
stored
doing
in the
okay.
garage. We got a garage, but I want to
so.
get my car back in there. And now we got to create a lot of room for everything. But it's going fan-damn-tastic. I guess I could take you a latest photo. I could go out there and do that. Take a photo, put it on my Instagram, then share it with the kids. How many kids we got here today watching
Nice.
this thing?
I think there was
Oh, how
three.
you doing
8
with
at the
the
moment.
view?
We had about 12.
How
And then
funny. I have
and then
12 right
everybody
now.
left.
Well,
No
not
way,
anymore.
Doc. Don't believe it for a second. You're one of my favorites, Olivia. And Paul, you are just the best. And, if folks don't know, you've got a history in commercials and broadcasting, all
It's
this
true.
sort of stuff. So,
Not so
and
much
Beans
anymore.
with high praise for Matt Street. And yeah, how well deserved. Oh, hey,
Oh,
somebody.
but you watch CKLW. This is like, are you anywhere near
Ah.
CKLW? I guess so. Sweetney.
Yeah, Rach, we were talking about Canadian radio earlier.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
we were talking about Canadian radio. Paul
No, it
was
just-
saying like tune in for
Yeah.
CKLW. And I say, well, I tried to tune in for WLS in Chicago.
Oh man, I love America. I would be, who I'd be? I'd be KZOK, The Rock, Seattle.
Mm.
Come on,
Oh,
kids,
man.
rock and roll. Yeah,
Rock
we
and roll,
love the
ladies and
U.S.
gentlemen. It's the best.
But
Matthew, the link there.
oh, this is so great. I'm glad to see you're streaming. I was going to go on a little bit myself, and I saw you here, and I go, this is perfect. This is perfect. Low pressure. Then I don't have to, do much, and I can just sit in cruise control. Many
Thank you. Like I mentioned to
Anyways, gang, that's a little taste. So that was 2.5 years ago, was that one. Boy, oh boy. Anyways, I want to appreciate the 10 people that are still here. I know, not exactly the best time frame for an episode today, but it was better than nothing, in my opinion, being that I'll be busy for the rest of the evening. But you know what? I really do. I love you guys. And like I said before, here's to another 900 shows, hopefully. Here's to gallons and gallons of coffee. Oh boy. Here's to getting a better camera. Here's to finding more budget record finds. And I did. I do have a handful. I paid 75 cents each for these. I'll have to show them when I get my camera back up. Maybe I can get it by Saturday. I can get the camera. I don't know. I ain't going to hold my breath, though. We'll see. But ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you guys being here. And like I said, like and subscribe, please, if you haven't done so. There will be better episodes, I swear. But we had a fun episode today. At least I think so. Like I said, it almost reverts back to Psychoplatter Radio. That's kind of what this almost reminds me of. I wish I had an outward jingle. Oh, wait a minute. I do. Psycho's Platters is a Love Peace production.